about 3.5 years ago, Kim and I decided to go vegan. I'm not 100% vegan, I think like 80%. I still eat a little eggs and some fish sometimes. But with Kim in the house, it's not hard to eat vegan. And for most of us my age, it's hard to understand what vegan is. I'm from Montana, my sister has a cattle ranch. When I go back there, they don't stand close to me, they think I'm infected. But for me, it changed my mind personally, it's really out well. So with Kim's cooking, she asked me one day, can you go find me a vegan wine? And my eyes crossed, as vegan wine. When they put pork in wine, no, I don't know. So I did a lot of questioning and asking, research online, and it's hard to find it online. I went to Venmo, Total Wine, Whole Foods, anything, on and on and on. And mostly over the age of 30 didn't have a clue what I was talking about. It took some young people to clue me in. I finally ended up at Whole Foods on Baseline in the world. They have a list put out by Barnivore, if anybody's ever interested. And they give a pretty comprehensive list on the beer and stuff. But the wines change on a yearly basis. One winery might make a vegan wine this year, one might make their reds vegan, and nobody's not. Is that still too much?
Brett, that way.
Well, anyway.
There we go.
It is hard for a man to walk into a store and say anything with a V, and it's just not right, you know. There's certain things we're scared of, and if being a man, go to the bar. I want to be here, please. It just doesn't work. So, what I found was, how's that? Oh, I'm losing it. There, is that better? Okay. A vegan wine is how they fine or filter. On a mass production, they need a heavier protein to bond with the small parts float around so they can settle the bottom and train it in a reasonably priced way. A lot of big places can't do that. Back in Europe until 92, 93, they actually used cow's blood in a lot of the wineries to collect the particles with the advent of cow disease. That went away. They use crushed shells from crustaceans, shrimp, lobster, crab. They find with that they use most popular is isinglass. It's a sturgeon fish flat. It's got a heady kind of globby thing like gelatin, and it attracts the protein, so you train with that. They use gelatin, cow's milk, pig fillets, sinew. They use egg whites. They use milk proteins, all kinds of things that a real vegan doesn't want in their stuff. And I'm not particular. There's good wines that are not vegan, but if I had a choice, I'd try to make it that. So when you go to Europe to try to find a vegan wine, these wineries have been established for 700 years. They're not going to change the way they make their wines overnight. We had the same customers or families, but now we're getting global. So some of them, by chance, especially the smaller, can do that. And this little appellation here from France is in an area where it's on a real mountainous hillside in between France and Germany. Over the last 1,500 years, it's changed hands like 8 times during battles and wars. So it's got quite a history in itself. It's a little bit higher than most Ridgelands like to be, but it's protected from the winds and the cold from the seas from the north by this mountain range. And you're finding the wine that matched Kim's plate with the hot dish or hot spicy stuff and the sweet on top of it. I had to find a Riesling that wasn't sweet. You guys know Riesling, first is like sweet. Well, what's cool about this is it's semi-dry wine. Now, when you take the residual sugars out of the wine, you increase the alcohol content. So, yeah, happy. And, so this one is a semi-dry wine. It's got a little bit of citrus going for it, a little peachy flavors to it. And it is a vegan wine. They've been that way for a long time, quite by accident. You ask, well, if they don't filter that, what do they use? They use clay, bentonite. They can do that by choice, or an algae. I think it's called kaolinite or something like that. So they can also do that. Or paper filters, which is kind of cost intensive. It's too expensive. A lot of small breweries, beer-wise, like all the people here, are filters vegan. Only because they have a small outfit and they use paper filters. And anyway, this is a really nice wine. I found the last 8 or 10 bottles in town. We have mine over here. So any questions?